May peace, mercy, and blessings be upon you. Your Excellency, Mr. President, sir, I am highly delighted and also excited to be here to witness the inauguration of the National Council for Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship. His Excellency may recall that I was here on the 15th December 2021, where on behalf of the federal government of Nigeria, I presented the bill as an executive bill. After a very long and robust discussion, it was approved. And I was directed to liaise with the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice to transmit it to the National Assembly. We did exactly the same. It was transmitted to the National Assembly. I represented His Excellency, Mr. President, on 3 to 4 occasions at the National Assembly. By 19th of October 2022, I was along with the Chief of Staff with Mr. President, where His Excellency assented to it, and it becomes our law. The National Council for Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship has been established by the Nigeria Startup Act 2022, Part 2, and the functions and details of the Council clearly stated in Section 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Your Excellency, Mr. President, sir, it is widely accepted that digital innovation and digital entrepreneurship are the two prerequisites towards building an indigenous digital economy. Furthermore, the Nigeria Startup Act 2022, it is an important legislation that will consolidate the achievements made by this administration and also support our country towards migrating to knowledge-based economy. Your Excellency, Mr. President, sir, one global institution that has been recognized with digital innovation on one hand and digital entrepreneurship on the other is the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the US. With the approval of His Excellency, Mr. President, I happen to be the champion of MIT from 2019 up to 2022. MIT as an institution, when they adopted their digital innovation and entrepreneurship through a model entitled as Innovation-Driven Enterprises, a research conducted in 2016 entitled as MIT Nation clearly stated that if MIT were to be a country, it will be the 10th largest economy in the world at that time, between Russia and India. As an institution, because of the adoption of digital innovation and digital entrepreneurship, as at 2016, the GDP, gross domestic product of MIT as a university was approximately 2 trillion USD. Your Excellency, Mr. President, sir, as we converge here for this inauguration, I believe the inauguration of the Council will support this administration to consolidate the gains and achievements we have recorded so far in the digital economy sector. His Excellency may recall that this administration has set up 3 unprecedented records when it comes to ICT contribution to GDP. For example, in the first quarter of 2020, ICT alone, without accommodating the digital services, contributed 14.07 to our GDP. It was a new record at that time. In the second quarter of 2021, ICT alone, without digital services, contributed 17.92%, while in the second quarter of 2022, ICT also contributed 18.44% to our GDP. It is another unprecedented record. Year in, year out, this administration has been setting new records when it comes to ICT contribution to GDP. A recent evaluation conducted by OSGF, FCDO, and KPMG indicated that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari has increased revenue generation from the digital economy sector. In 2019, it was around 51 billion USD. while in 2022, it was up to 408 billion, meaning quarterly contribution from 51 billion to 408 billion, an increase of 594%. This is indeed commendable, and I believe that the council to be inaugurated here is going to consolidate the achievements and the gains we have recorded so far. Your Excellency, Mr. President, sir, you may also recall that you directed me to travel to the US and engage with SpaceX, particularly Starlink under SpaceX, to facilitate the deployment of satellite broadband in Nigeria. I traveled in December 2022 on behalf of this respected and successful administration. After our engagement with Starlink, within a month, Starlink was in Nigeria, and today they provide broadband services. And we can safely say that in any part of Nigeria, with our landmass of 920,000 square kilometers approximately, you will get access to Starlink services from each and every part of this country. Furthermore, Your Excellency, sir, in Africa, we have, as at February 2023, we had 7 unicorns. Unicorn is a company with a valuation of a minimum of 1 billion USD. We had 7 unicorns in Africa with 54 countries. As at February 2023, out of these 7 unicorns, 4 of them originated from Nigeria, while the remaining 3 originated from the remaining 53 African countries. And all these 4 originated from Nigeria attained this position of unicorn during this administration. The first one is in 2019, while the second, third, and fourth attained this position in 2021. So all of them attained that position during this very important and very successful administration of yours. Your Excellency, if you compute it, you will discover that 57.14% of the entire African unicorns originated from Nigeria, while the market value of 7 of them combined, as at February 2023, was 11.45 billion. 4 from Nigeria contributed 7.5 billion from that total amount. So percentage-wise, we can safely say that 65.21% of the entire African unicorns originated from Nigeria, with a contribution of 65.21% to the entire unicorns of Africa. This is a clear indication and a success story of this administration. Your Excellency, Mr. President, sir, I want to use the opportunity to congratulate you and this administration on this giant stride. And I believe this council to be inaugurated that brought together government officials, academics, industry players, among others, will go a long way in consolidating the achievements we have recorded so far. May the Almighty bless the digital economy sector in Nigeria, and may the Almighty bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much for listening.
To inaugurate the National Council for Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship. The Council has been established to guide the implementation of the Nigerian Startup Act 2022. The Nigerian Startup Act 2022 is a statement to the vision and commitment of our administration to harness the potential of Nigeria's young and innovative population who have demonstrated their ingenuity, creativity, and entrepreneurship spirit in creating innovative solutions to the challenges we face as a nation and as a continent. The Act, which was developed in a collaborative approach between the Office of the President and the Federal Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy, with the support of the technical ecosystem, provides incentives and support for startups, such as tax breaks, access to funding, ease of doing business, intellectual property protection, and participation in public procurement. The Act became law after its approval by the Federal Executive Council on the 15th of December 2021 and the Presidential Assent on 19th October 2022. I particularly commend the effort of the Honorable Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, and the Chief of Staff, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, for this achievement. It is worth noting the remarkable growth of startups worldwide, with over $400 billion United States dollars of venture funding accessed in 2022. This growth was fueled by a surge in demand for digital services as people worldwide turn to technology to stay connected, work remotely, and access essential goods and services, largely due to the coronavirus pandemic. In Africa, the startup ecosystem has also been growing at a remarkable pace. In 2022, African startups raised a record of $5.4 billion United States dollars in funding. Nigeria has been at the forefront of this growth, with Nigerian startups rising over $4 billion United States dollars between 2019 and 2022. As we aim to become a global talent factory through the implementation of the Nigeria Startup 2022, Nigeria's startup ecosystem still faces significant challenges, such as access to funding, support infrastructure, and skilled talent. These remain major barriers to the growth of the ecosystem, particularly for early-stage startups. The provisions of the Nigerian Startup Act 2022 present an important step towards addressing these challenges and promoting the growth of a more vibrant and inclusive startup ecosystem in Nigeria. Furthermore, implementation of the Act will lead to consolidation and further development of the gains recorded by Nigeria's digital economy. In the last 4 years, in the areas of contribution to GDP and increased revenue generation, amongst others. The Council I am inaugurating today is a critical governance structure in the implementation of the Act, which will ensure that government agencies, entrepreneurs, investors, and support organizations collaborate with the startup ecosystem to achieve the goals of promoting the growth of a vibrant and sustainable startup ecosystem. I had earlier directed the Secretariat, the National Information Technology Development Agency, to commence the execution of the implementation plan it developed. One of the important aspects of the implementation plan is the development of the startup portal, which will serve as a platform that will drive the implementation of the Nigeria Startup Act 2022 and collaboration between all stakeholders. Similarly, I hereby direct the Secretariat to ensure faithful implementation of the Nigeria Startup Act 2022. I urge all Council members and other stakeholders to support the Secretariat in implementing the provisions of the Act. The National Council for Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship, being inaugurated, consists of 14 members as follows. A, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chairman. B, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Vice Chairman. C, the minister responsible for communication and digital economy, who shall preside over the council in the absence of the president and vice president. D, the minister responsible for finance, budget, and national planning. E, the minister responsible for industry, trade, and investment. F, the minister responsible for science, technology, and innovation. G, governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. H, 4 representatives of the Startup Consultative Forum. And I, 1 representative of the Nigerian Computer Society. J, 1 representative of Computer Professionals Registration Council of Nigeria. K, the Director General, National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, Secretary of the Council. I hereby inaugurate the Council, the National Council for Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship. With this inauguration, which serves as our first meeting, I hereby direct the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Fantami, to convene another meeting of the Council in May 2023 to make further progress on the implementation of the Act. I congratulate the members of the National Council for Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship on their assignment and wish them a successful and productive engagement in harnessing our youth talents and uplifting our country's economy to new heights. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.